Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Napoleon Total War Russian campaign. As we talked about in the last episode, these darn Ottomans are actually trying to attack us, so we're going to take our whole army and go ahead and attack them. Yep, pretty much getting right into the battle. We're already favored, so let's go ahead and play it out. No reason to do the auto-resolve, because they do have a fairly significant army, and there's no reason to really allow our opponents to have any chance to numerically win based on what the computer decides, because I think I can use my tactics to be able to set up a more favorable sort of fight against them, which would make things a little bit easier. So anyway, this is again the Battle of Bucharest, although that's not what the title of this episode is going to be called, since I already have one where again, episode 9, if you remember, where we actually invaded and took over the city. So now this is more of our own defense against the sieging army, because all of our men will starve to death if we allowed them to just sit there and try and siege them. There's no reason to really do that, even though for us, when we attack an AI computer, we tend to want to besiege a city if possible instead of a direct assault, depending on how many units we have, because it'll force them to come out on the field, which will mean we don't have to do a siege battle necessarily, even though there's not necessarily forts in Napoleon Total War. So let's see what they have, because for some reason in the campaign they let us see where the enemy is deploying, so they have cav over here. So let's go ahead and grab our... oh, I don't know why that's not toggled. Here, let me just... F5. Interesting, I don't know why certain things are not being toggled. There we go, okay. For some reason the battle UI was not showing. Anyway, so how do we want to deploy these? Well, let's grab both of our very experienced artillery and put them right on top of this hill. And of course they will be unlimbered for the battle. Alright, let's get our general, put him in the back here behind our artillery with our 2 cav units. I don't really use cav that much, as you know, but heck, may as well keep them close to the artillery just in case. So, where are our light units? Okay, so we have our 2 light units. Those guys are going to be needed right on the front lines. We're going to spread them out as much as we can and put them into light infantry formation, making them the most optimal that we can have. And then in the back, we'll take our 2 kind of scrub Russian units and put them directly behind our artillery, so they can kind of fire through that. And then we'll get our more experienced marine type soldiers and put them right behind our lights, and then this army is just going to kind of push forward, kind of do its own thing. And then for the rest of these units all down here, they're actually doing pretty good where they are at. I don't have much of a problem with them, except for the fact that maybe we want to spread them out a bit more, because of the way the game works, you want long, thin lines, so that way you can wrap around your opponent, and that's pretty much all we really have. So let's go ahead and order them all to line up, like so. As you can see, our artillery will already begin firing at them, and we shouldn't have any of our artillery kind of in the way. And we really don't need to move even necessarily right against them, because again, we can just sort of allow the enemy to approach onto us. So let's go ahead and grab these guys and spread them out a bit more, just so that way we can cover a bit more ground. And we'll go ahead and run them. And as you can see, we are already getting shelled by the enemy, but our Russian troops are in fact going to be perfectly fine. Let's actually line them up over here so we can get those free shots, and that'll work very nicely with our units as long as we spread them out like so. That should be a pretty solid sort of line of defense. Let's kind of get these reserves moving. And you know what, our units are a little bit clumped up, so let's go ahead and move our general and those guys out of here. And perhaps bring these guys kind of as a reinforcing army, even though they're not quite as experienced or really what we want to use in a main engagement. Because this is going to be the main battle, so once everyone gets lined up, we're going to go ahead and march forward. Let's just march forward right now. And we're going to run them, of course. We really got to take out that cavalry, well, the cannon. So let's go ahead and run them as fast as we can, because we actually want to get a good shot off on their artillery. Even though these units should be what the actual engaging force is. So once they cross into our line of fire, again, we don't need to move our guns necessarily right away. And as you can see, as all of their guns are kind of firing, we want to make sure that our 2 cav units are just going to get a direct charge onto their artillery. That's kind of the only thing we really need to use our cavalry for. Okay, let's order our artillery to kind of target that mosh pit of units. And then this army can go ahead and advance forward. Alright, as you can see, we have begun attacking, and they do have more artillery than I originally expected, so let's go ahead and march forward a little bit to kind of match them, but they have a lot of infantry units. And we're going to need to actually get our militiamen into the fight while we try and get our reserves focused. Let's actually unlimber. And then as you can see, there's this kind of like little ridge of like cover, so we'll put them all right behind. And we can kind of use that as cover, which will be quite nice. And then let's get our cavalry charging forward into the battle. We're just going to do a nice charge directly at their at the Ottoman Empire. Perfectly fine. Aha! As you can see, now we're finally making our way to get good strikes on them. As you can see, they're just charging their melee units. Melee units aren't really going to be too effective against us. And then if we're not still in range, so let's go ahead and advance our men forward. And of course, we are going to be running them.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh, we have a cav unit that is breaking. Not the best thing, but we'll go ahead and get that unit out of here. Take the secondary line and sort of push. Oh, sorry. We want them to face like that. So we'll go ahead and run them to face in such a way that we can get a good surround on them. Our nice musketeer units kind of doing their thing, even though our main force is actually currently occupied. Okay, these units kind of need to get a bit closer so that way we can get engaged into the battle itself, because these men are currently not even firing, which is something we don't want to have going on in our flanks, especially if we're going to have our lights support. Even they're not really getting too many kills. Let's go ahead and pull our lights. No. Sorry. It's the only way to really cancel orders. So I like how this is going. I mean, even though our lights are really getting hammered, you know, our units should be able to more than make up for that. I don't know why the camera angle is being so shifty. Either way, I think we're doing a pretty good job on this flank of making sure to keep all of our units in line. So here, we'll go ahead and run these men to a more favorable position. And as they get closer, this unit should start opening up. Or at least they're supposed to. Maybe they won't. Here we go. Now this whole unit should engage with a nice volley. Woo! I love that stuff. I personally think it's really nice to see. As you can see, we're wiping out most of the enemy's forces. So we'll just use our Russian kind of volleys to go ahead and... Or sorry, our Russian melee skills almost. We don't necessarily need to charge them, but considering how close we are, and also Russians are actually pretty strong in melee, so we're going to go ahead and charge them. I'm not sure why again, it's so shaky with it's a sensitivity thing, I think. Okay, we're actually losing that fight, so let's go ahead and get these guys out of here.
Our men are running, sir.
Damn it. Okay, maybe we shouldn't have engaged them in melee. Lesson learned, I suppose. Oh well, that melee conflict actually will kind of tie them up a little bit. Let's go ahead and spread out our men some more. Make them a little more optimal for fighting. Oh, this unit's actually not kind of taking a beating unnecessarily. Bit of a slight error on my part, but not the end of the world, nothing we can't fix. Here, they're going to try and make some sort of an advance. Let's go ahead and show them how we do things. And we're going to reform completely on this flank. Perfect. And as you can see, we're gunning down these guys quite swiftly and handily. Oh, as you can see, as we were reforming to get in a position to fight them, they're going to fall back, which is fine. So we'll go ahead and take these two kind of weaker units. I mean, they need promotions, you know, they haven't seen too much action. Nothing wrong with getting them into the fight. Yeah, and as you can see, these guys are getting some good shots off. So we'll just advance these guys forward. Because there's not too much left. Perfect. Now my lights are going to go ahead and open fire. And with these nice volleys, we should be able to... Yeah. We'll have a very successful fight. Mainly due to the fact that even with their cav kind of trying to do their thing, you know, we're just going to shoot them down. We're not really even going to bother going into square formation to take them out. And they're still on the run, so that's why it is kind of nice that we have this cavalry unit here. And we're going to go right into the thick of it and charge them. See, and the cavalry alone doing their charge is going to be enough to kind of scare them off. Now that's terrifying, in my opinion. Having cavalry just charging down on you, I'd say that's pretty great. It's nice to be back. Nice to be doing this. And we'll kind of keep these guys kind of fresh. You know, we don't need to use all of our men for the fight. You know, we want to keep as many units healthy as possible, so we'll just use these guys to kind of mop it up. Oh man, I really don't necessarily want them to escape. Okay. That's kind of sad. I don't like letting them escape because then we have to go chase them down on the map. And that's just a whole bunch of auto-resolving that isn't necessarily the most enjoyable. Oh, look at this view. I think this is a nice view of all the Russians getting their shots off. Perfect. We may as well have the cavalry go get some experience points. Just from fighting. Oh, no, let's continue the battle because we want to run these guys down. Because it's easier on us than letting them escape. And there's a pretty significant amount, and they're retreating, so we're just gonna play out this battle a little bit longer than it necessarily needs to go. Again, simply for the sake of getting some good kills. How are we coming on running them down? I don't know. I'd say we pretty much got them, so let's not worry about that. And let's quit battle. Close victory, sure. Why not? Let's go ahead and load back onto the main battle map. Just going to kind of wait around for the loading screen to finish. And as you can see, we deployed 1,822. They deployed 1,400. We only lost about 400 guys. They lost most of them. Oh man, they have a lot remaining. Huh. Yeah, they're going to kind of escape. And we have to go run them down. So let's take our army. Even though they are wounded. And we have to finish them off. We can't let them just kind of stay there. And is he going to do like a surrender retreat thing? Yeah, because there's such a small amount of use left, I just don't want to necessarily allow them to come back after us, so let's go ahead and just fight them right away again. Because even though we're still in Burchest, we're still doing that kind of fighting, but I really don't want them to come back. And they have that artillery that is somehow still around, and we can't let them reform with that other group that was up towards our city, kind of closer to original Russia territory, which isn't something that I'm personally okay with, so we're just going to have to go finish them off and make it super straightforward and easy. Alright, yeah, let's just go ahead and... Well, there might be a little bit of tactics. Why is the UI still screwed up? Okay. And let's start the battle, because I don't even necessarily worry about that. So we're just going to unlimber, and we'll let them march towards us. I'm not even too worried about... Okay, now I'm kind of upset. We're going to just order everyone to charge forward. Because this shouldn't be a hard battle. So not, yeah, as you can see, not a lot of tactics going into this. And if you even look at their unit sizes are pretty small. They just have a lot of units themselves. Because we let a lot of their units rout, which isn't a good thing. So we're just going to run all of our guys to line up. Okay, let's grab this entire giant line and just keep marching them forward. As you can see, this is something that I think is how you go to mop up units. You know, you just order everyone to kind of march forward. It's kind of a rush to see who can get XP, because I don't plan on losing any. You know, we didn't actually lose any units themselves, even though units routed. Because now you'll just see a giant line of guys fire as soon as they cross into that threshold of our guns. as you can see. Perfect. Getting some good volleys off. Not really allowing them to do anything. Now our units are a bit more depleted than in our first fight because we were fully healed before. So that means our units are going to look a little bit worse than when we started. But it's not the end of the world. And as you can see, we're already kind of getting into a box formation around them. To kind of surround it, we want to get complete wipes on their units. We don't really want to let anyone survive. That's why these units are going to go ahead and head over to take them out right away. And I'm kind of letting my artillery fire willy-nilly as it wishes. See, this is why I like the box formation, because you can kind of just get these angles. These units are not really firing, but we need them kind of to support what we have. See, and we're just going to get a little box enclave around, because our guys are kind of firing pretty relentlessly right at the what's remaining. We should get some complete wipes, ideally. I did order a square formation. I don't know if they're going to do it. Oh, they're doing it. Okay.
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
I'm going to march on this artillery and not allow them to fire down our lines. That's really bad when they can shoot down at us. It's quite bad. Okay, we totally killed the unit completely. Like, it's not coming back. Let's run our guys into position to help cover fire. But because this unit's still in a square with a pretty solid amount of men, this little charge they're doing isn't okay. That's not okay. You guys need to go into melee and just cut them off. Because that's just... we can't let that happen. And I'm currently ordering my cav to charge at their other artillery. So as you can see, that artillery got silenced. We're going to get out of square formation, and these three units can go ahead and turn to fire at them. There's no real reason to worry about using our whole army again. We want to keep our guys kind of healthy, because I need to go back to the city and, you know, heal up. Don't know why it's not necessarily doing all the sound effects to let me know that it is actually working. But oh well, these guys can kind of stay in that awkward formation. There's pretty much nothing left of our opponent. That should be really nice if these guys could run down those units over there. Just so that way we don't have to worry about, you know, having to fight a single unit, which I'll just auto-resolve and chase them down, which is fine. It's kind of just mop-up. Again, not really being too concerned about kind of the whether or not my units will survive or not, or anything like that. See, now that the unit's just wiped out, you can kind of just assume that everything is going to be good. And yes, I turned off the minimap. It's okay, don't worry about it. I'm going to have to go into my settings and fix some stuff, because I was making stuff for YouTube, but it didn't come through. Anyway, let's go ahead and end the battle. Yes, there's an enemy that escaped, but at that point, you know, I'll let it go. It's not the end of the world. We're totally fine. And hey, we kicked out the invading force on Burchest. I'd say that's a pretty solid victory for us, especially since we're trying to expand. What is it? We need like 4 more territories? Is it 5 more territories? Yeah, we decimated them. That's what I like to see, because now there's no physical unit piece to even sit there. And then we'll just go ahead and get back in there, because we don't need to worry about them. we'll deal with them later, because I'd rather heal up. Let's actually go check out the objectives, the victory conditions. We need, we need a fair amount more, and we also need the Poland. We need Poland. Right, so let's take a look at our armies. I just want to see where we're at. Like, how's that army doing? Pretty good, pretty good. Wow, that is a lot more lights than I thought we would have. Interesting. I mean, we can do it, you know, we can definitely use them. If we're going to get our attack on Poland, it's got to be pretty swift. Where are we headed? We're headed there. That's fair. We can go ahead and make that move. Where's our other armies? We're at war with them. Oh yeah, this is healing up. I think we're getting ready for the pancake. I think that's the actual plan here. And then we're going to try and take that place as well. While we are invading down here, this is going to be kind of a long thing to take over. So we'll probably just go to Istanbul and then go through the Balkans. I don't necessarily need to wipe out all of the Ottoman Empire in order to feel like I've satisfied all the victory conditions. What is that?
A spy is also a saboteur and an assassin. Select him
Is it mine?
and right-click on target. Use this panel to select the action you wish your agent to carry out upon arriving at their destination.
Actually, wait, no. Let's bomb it. Sure. Go bomb the thing. I don't need to know how many armies are in there, because it's fine, because I think we, no matter what we face, we'll be pretty good to take them out. What about, do we still have our armies back there? Sorry, it's been a little while since I played. I gotta recheck kind of what we have here. No armies sitting there. I don't necessarily want to build buildings yet, because I might need to recruit things. Like, recruitment-wise over here. I don't know. I think we only have 3 armies currently on purpose. Okay, and as you might hear the phone ringing, that is going to be where we are going to cut off this episode. So I hope you all enjoyed, and then next time we're probably going to go and invade Poland, and that'll be fun. Anyway guys, I'm Elwirfy, and I'll see you guys next time.